Imagine a video game that literally crawls into your brain, hijacks your memories, and throws your deepest fears right back at your face. Now imagine being stuck in that game, with no escape. The story begins with a man named Cooper, who sneaks out of his house taking his personal belongings with him. As he travels across the world, his mother continuously tries to reach out to him on his cell, but he keeps on rejecting the call. His last destination is London. During breakfast at a restaurant, Cooper comes across a couple after which he feels the void of not having someone to laugh at his bad jokes. He starts swiping on a dating app. The same evening, he meets a girl named Sonja through the dating app. They talk about their profession and Cooper shares his traveling stories with her. He tells her that he'll be going back home next week and asks her to do some fun shit together. They end up doing the fun shit together and wake up next morning. Sonja finds a scar on his shoulder and Cooper tells her that he got it from a school bully. He receives a call from his mother, but again he chose not to answer. Sonja prepares breakfast for Cooper when he receives another call from his mother. Upon inquiring, he tells Sonja that he used to live with his parents, where he took care of his dad, who was an Alzheimer's patient. His dad passed away and he don't have the guts to face his mom. Sonja empathizes with him and assures him that he is a good person and suggests to call back his mom. Later that day, Cooper tries withdrawing some money from an ATM machine, but his card gets declined. Upon calling the bank, they tell him that a fraud purchase was made using his card and he'll receive the refund after a week. Initially, Cooper thought of asking for money from his mother, but ended up calling Sonja. Now, Cooper plans to earn money through an app and sees an advertisement of a gaming company. Sonja tells him that the company is well known for its horror games, and they are planning to launch a new game and looking for volunteers for a test run. Sonja also tells him that this company keeps everything very secretive, so she suggests taking some pictures of their equipment to make huge money through it. Cooper applies for it and visits the company. Upon arrival, he's taken inside the facility and gets excited after getting the sneak peek with the technological advancements of the company and the gadgets their staff use. Katie, the employee who will conduct the test, asks Cooper to submit his mobile and then proceeds to switch it off. In the testing room, she asks him to sign a non-disclosure form and an agreement for a small medical procedure. Cooper is ready to sign the agreement, but there is a page missing in the agreement. As she leaves the room to retrieve it, Cooper quickly turns on his phone and takes a picture of the equipment and sends it to Sonja. He hears the door open and quickly puts his phone back but forgets to turn off the phone. Katie enters the room and connects a signal transmitter on his head. Then she shows him a small device that she'll insert in his neck. Once she's done with the procedure, she initiates the data uploading. During this process, Cooper again receives a call from his mother. Katie gets confused as she remembers switching off the phone. After uploading the data, Cooper suddenly sees a mole on the table. Katie improves the graphic settings and the mole becomes super real. Cooper is shocked and excited to interact with the mole. He starts playing whack-a-mole on the table. The game ends and Katie informs Cooper that it was only a beta test. He can apply for full test with more money involved, and Cooper agrees to do it. She then introduces him to Saito's founder, Shou Saito. Saito tells him that they are making a psychological horror game that will use his own memory and experiences to scare him. Cooper is excited and proceeds with the test. They upload the gaming data through the headset and then take him to a mansion that is specifically designed for this test. She informs Cooper that the game will show him things based on what scares him, and if he starts to feel uncomfortable, he can simply tell them to stop. There are cameras everywhere for surveillance. She hands him an earpiece and leaves the premises. Cooper surveys through the house, touching things to see if they are real. He pours himself some wine, and as he is walking, he comes across a painting of the mansion. He sits on the couch in front of the fireplace and picks up a book to read. As he turns through pages, he sees a big spider on the floor. Katie mentions that his heart rate's just spiked, and Cooper tells them about the spider. She informs that there is no spider, and everything that he is seeing is only virtual, and it can't harm him physically. Suddenly, the spider appears on the couch, and Cooper loses his cool. Katie laughs at him for being afraid to a little creature. He crushes the spider with his foot, and it disappears. He sits back on the couch, and the light starts to flicker. Suddenly, Cooper's sight bestows upon the picture frame, but this time, there's light turned on in one of the rooms. He informs Katie about it, and suddenly he sees a man standing at the window. It scares Cooper when suddenly he hears a click sound, and the painting comes back to normal. He starts to hear the roof creak and footstep from the upper floor. He peeks at the staircase, but no one is there. When he turns, he gets startled to see a man standing next to him with a stare. Cooper realizes that the man in front of him is the bully who gave him the scar in school. His name is Josh Peters. Katie informs him that the game must be mining his memories that deeply affects him. Cooper goes back towards the kitchen and keeps talking about the wine. Katie mentions that he's being more talkative than usual, which means he is scared. Talking more compensates for the fear. Cooper disagrees with the theory and asks if there are any snacks available. Katie guides him to the drawer and he starts munching on a cookie. He assumes that Josh Peters will be standing behind the door when he closes it. When he does, it turns out he was right. As he starts celebrating the call-out of this cliché, he suddenly sees huge spider legs approaching, which scares the shit out of him. What's absurd is that the game mixed two of his fears, making a huge spider with Josh Peters' face on it. The earpiece loses its connection, and as he is walking, he suddenly hears loud banging on the door. He assumes it's Katie who came to fix the earpiece, but he is too afraid to open the door. When he finally does, it's Sonja, who claims that his life is in danger. Sonja comes inside and informs him that she did a little research and found out that the technology Saito's company is using to make this game is very dangerous. 5 people disappeared last year. They all were tourists, and they all applied for this job. Cooper thinks the game is using Sonja to scare him, but when he touches her face, it turns out she is real. He still refuses to believe what she is telling and thinks it's all a joke, and they are trying to scare him. Sonja presses further that she is not joking, and his life could be in danger. When he asks Sonja how she found where he is, she replies that she tracked him using his phone. Cooper laughs at her face, claiming that his phone is not even with him. It's somewhere far away in a facility. Sonja's demeanor changes. She moves towards the kitchen counter and pulls out a knife. She informs him that she was the one who cloned his credit card and used all the money, and she was the one who suggested him for this job, which now leads to this moment. Cooper is still being naive and thinks it's all a joke and that she is acting. He walks away from Sonja, but suddenly the ugly Josh spider springs in front of him and Sonja stabs him from behind. He throws her away on a couch, but then she lunges on him. He tries to reach out to the broken piece of glass, but Sonja pushes him on the floor, and the knife pierces through his shoulder. Suddenly, Sonja's appearance starts changing, and she becomes Red Skull from the Marvel comics. He grabs her head and pulls it towards the knife, putting the end to the commotion. Suddenly, everything is gone and hears Katie's voice in the earpiece. He gets up and starts cursing, telling her that everything felt real. Even though they told him that there won't be any physical touch involved, he could feel the pain and the warmth. He is frustrated and wants to quit the game. Katie tries to calm him, telling him that it can't be real, unless the neural chip found a way to mimic the physical senses. Cooper can't wait for them anymore and starts removing the chip from his neck, but Katie stops him, telling him it could be dangerous. She tells him that they are deactivating the game and guides him to move towards the access point.
The access point? Great, where the fuck's the access point?
Cooper finds out that the access point is on the first floor, and he certainly is not happy about it. He moves towards the room and assumes that something bad is behind the door. Katie assures him that everything will be fine. Cooper thinks that the game has access to his memories, and it will use his mother to mentally torture him. When he opens the door, there is no one inside. He asks for the location of access point, but Katie laughs at him. She tells him that there is no access point. They just wanted to check if they have broken Cooper to the point where he will obey every command. She then asks him about his mom and her appearance. She asks a personal question about him that he should be able to answer, but Cooper have no answers. She asks the name of the girl he met, but he doesn't know. When he looks in the mirror, he can't even recognize himself. The game has completely taken over his memories and started to rewrite them. Katie tells him that he will be gone like his dad, forgotten, while Cooper screams, "Shut up! Shut up!" He pulls out the earpiece, but her voice still rings in his head. He grabs a broken glass to remove the chip from his neck, and that's when Saito and his team arrives. Katie says that she is unable to stop the device. It's deeply rooted in his spine and taken complete control over his brain. Cooper replies, But I don't know who I am. He has lost all his memories and doesn't even know who he is. Saito apologizes to Cooper and commands his team to put him with the other subjects. As they are taking away Cooper, everything changes and comes back to normal in Saito's office, where Katie removes the chip from his neck. She informs Saito that the chip is still way too strong and everything that Cooper experienced occurred within a second. Saito apologizes to him and he leaves the place. He arrives back at home where he finds his mother crying in a corner. When his mother sees him, she reaches out to her phone and tells him that she needs to make a call. When Cooper follows her and tells her that he is back, she replies that Cooper left without saying anything. She just hopes he is okay and that she needs to call him. Cooper shouts for his mom and turns out that he is still in the testing room, shaking and calling for his mom. His phone rings as she tries to reach out to him. Cooper dies. Saito arrives and asks, "What happened?" Katie informs him that she turned off the mobile phone, but he turned it back on when she went out of the room. He received a call from his mother during the interface upload, and it interfered with the signals. All of his brain synapses lit up and fused. Basically, his brain became a toast and he died. Saito tells her to make a note of it and leaves. The end. So let me get this straight. He never left the testing room. He never met Saito. And yet, he knew what he looked like? Also, when Katie took him to the mansion, everything was physical from the beginning. The game only chose to make him believe that it was a game and couldn't hurt him until it finally decided to bring Cooper down with everything it got. The question is, if technologia ever advances to this extent, And if you had the chance to play a horror game that dives into your fears and past trauma, would you do it? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so your neural chip doesn't miss the next upload. Until next time, keep your phone off during brain uploads.